Hello, folks. Welcome back to Sports Babble with Myles and Quinn. We all hope you had a great Christmas, and to celebrate the holidays, we are going to be going over a holiday game that actually took place on Christmas. It was the Vikings and the Saints game. Those teams have had some good matchups in the past, and if you keep listening, then you'll hear about how this matchup was. So, yeah, we'll be back after these words. Wow, thanks, Dad. This is a great game.
You betcha! Pops Pretzels! Get your pops here! Get your pops here! Pops Pretzels! Get your pops here!
Hey, Dad, can we get a couple Pops Pretzels?
You betcha!
Sweet. Nothing compares to a warm, delicious, cooked to perfection Pops Pretzel at the game. Pops, they're perfect.
And if you can't make it to the game, let Pops Pre-Frozen bring the taste of the game to you.
Hey, this is Quinn, reminding you to please take a moment and smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. And while you're at it, click on the notification bell to never miss an upload of Sports Babble with Myles and Quinn. Enjoy the show.
With Myles and Quinn.
You know, I feel like our commercials kind of level out with the Super Bowl commercials on Super Bowl day for the NFL.
I would have to agree.
But anyways, so like I said before,
I mean,
today
who wouldn't, right, Quinn?
You got that right.
like I said before, today we're going to be celebrating the holidays by going over a holiday game that took place on Christmas evening. It was the Vikings and Saints game. Although it wasn't a very close game, as the Saints kind of blew the Vikings out of the water, it was still a fun game to watch. It was very high scoring on the Saints side. And like I also said before, these teams have had some very good games in the past. Obviously, the Minneapolis Miracle from Case Keenum to Stephon Diggs to make the Saints, or to knock the Saints out of the playoffs and make the Vikings go to the playoffs. It was a very, pretty much everyone remembers that. It was like one of the big Saints and Vikings matchups. And last year in the playoffs, the Vikings knocking the Saints out of the playoffs in overtime, a questionable pass interference call, but still they were on like the 10-yard line. They probably would have scored anyways. These past couple of years, the Saints and the Vikings have had some good matchups. In this game, it wasn't as close as in the past. The Saints really kind of just blew the Vikings out of the water in this one. And one of the key players to the success for the Saints was Alvin Kamara, the red shoe and the green shoe guy. Alvin Kamara had 6 touchdowns in this game, which is unbelievable to think. In our fantasy league, I think like Myles or Camden, our friend Camden, has him, and Alvin Kamara had like 50 fantasy points. That's just unreal. So obviously he had a great game, and the Saints ended up winning, which Alvin Kamara's 6 touchdowns definitely helped with that. Myles, do you guys want to say anything?
Sure. I mean, I didn't see the game. It was Christmas. I was doing other stuff. But I did see a couple of the highlights, and Alvin Kamara definitely was the MVP of the game. He got 6 touchdowns and just worked really hard, put a lot into that game. and ultimately pulled through for the Saints. And Drew Brees, I feel like, has been not as good this year as he's been in the past years. And so for Alvin Kamara to step up and become kind of the leader of that Saints offense, that game really helped them pull through for the victory.
Yeah, it's also a very important
Yeah,
game.
Myles. Drew Brees has been underwhelming this year. Started the year At the start of the year, people were saying, he could be an MVP potentially. Of course, he had an injury, which prevented and Tyson Hill came in and played pretty good. I just won a game. Anyway, so the game for Kamara to start, and he should be. He had 6 touchdowns, which is insane. But what really makes this a special game is 6 rushing touchdowns, which is just unheard of. I mean, with these types of running backs who usually get passed to and score, when they score 4 touchdowns, it's usually 2 or 3 of them are running, and 1 or 2 of them are just all of them running or rushing. I should say. Drew Brees did score a touchdown, which probably could have gone to Kamara, which would have made it 7, which would have broken the record. Instead, he tied the record. 1 green shoe, 1 red shoe, like Quinn said. That was awesome to see. Alvin Kamara, he had, I believe, the 3rd most fantasy points this week out of all of the games in the year. I believe the ones in front of him were Tyler Lockett, of course. What's the Chiefs guy's name again?
Patrick
Tyreek Hill.
Mahomes.
You stumped us all.
Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill. Boom.
Yeah,
nailed it.
Tyreek Hill.
Hill.
Tyreek Hill. So yes, Alvin Kamara, fantastic game. He did have a few passing yards, but not enough to overshadow how many rushing yards he had. I believe he had 155 total yards or rushing yards, which is just insane. So Alvin Kamara, probably the best game of the year for running back. And another thing I did want to talk about was the start of this game. It's 2 of the best running backs in the league facing off. Alvin Kamara, who's ranked number 1, and Dalvin Cook, who's ranked number 2. Them squaring off was a great matchup. And, I mean, Dalvin Cook did not play nearly as good as Alvin Kamara because that would be almost impossible to do. But he still scored a touchdown, and he got, I believe, almost 80 yards, which is that's a solid game. So 2 fantastic running backs facing off, and one of them clearly won.
Yeah. I also mentioned before that Alvin Kamara wearing 1 red cleat and 1 green cleat, which was very cool to see. But unfortunately, the NFL wasn't such a big fan of that and decided to fine him $6,000, I believe.
$6,000 he got fined for wearing those cleats.
Off uniform policy must have been sad to see because that was a pretty cool combo on Christmas Day. But NFL had a little problem with it, which is kind of a bummer because that was kind of cool to see him wearing 1 red cleat and 1 green cleat to celebrate Christmas. Yeah, you heard it. You heard it here first. We don't like it.
He was one of several players that wore Christmas colors or holiday colors, I should say, in the pregame. And usually players will take that stuff off before the game starts. And the thing was, he didn't take the cleats off, and the NFL let him play the game, and then afterwards they slapped him with the fine.
Yeah, like a lot of times in pregame, you'll see players wearing tinted visors, which NFL doesn't allow during normal games because they have to see your eyes. So a lot of times in pregame, you'll see tinted visors maybe, but during the game you won't. That's because like my dad just said, sometimes they'll have stuff on, but then they'll take it off because it disobeys the NFL's uniform policies. But Alvin Kamara didn't take his stuff off, and then
he didn't care. He was just like, whatever. He didn't care.
Yeah, and Myles also mentioned the Dalvin Cook-Alvin Kamara matchup. Obviously, Alvin Kamara outplaying Dalvin Cook in this game, 6 touchdowns. It's happened. Myles said he tied the record, so it's happened before. But with the way that offenses are today, primarily passing, it's cool to see 6 touchdowns, still all running rather than receiving. Because a lot of times, like Myles also said, you'll see 1 or 2 receiving touchdowns from a running back, but all running. And Drew Brees ran in for a touchdown. Easily could have been Alvin Kamara doing that. That could have been 7 for the record. So obviously, he just had a phenomenal game.
I'd like to chime in. When Myles said Alvin Kamara number 1 and Dalvin Cook number 2, I would question that personally because,
Same.
Derrick Henry, seriously, he's definitely I looked at the Pro Bowl picks, and number 1 Pro Bowl pick for NFC is Dalvin Cook, not Alvin Kamara. So, I don't know. But, so...
In fairness, this is just the stuff I got from our fantasy football league. I think Dalvin Cook's the best Pro Bowler or the best running back in the league. And we did a poll on Sports Babble with Myles and Quinn's Instagram, which unfortunately will be being deleted this week because I am not able to post. Something's wrong with it. But anyway, we did a post between Cook and Henry, and Dalvin Cook won. I really don't think it was that close. So, yeah, according to our viewers, Dalvin Cook's better. And I think that's it. He's better.
Yeah, but Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry's way better than Alvin Kamara in my point. Alvin Kamara had a fantastic game, but how a running back plays in a game is not just on him. It's also on the offensive line and the defense and all those other factors. So I don't know.
Yeah, Myles, you do make a good point, and I think that this week, before I take down my Instagram, which I will be replacing it, by the way, I'll do a poll on Alvin Kamara and Derrick Henry, just so we can see if other people share the same opinions as you. But yeah, it will be being deleted because I'm not able to post. Something happened with Instagram, and they did something to my account. Yeah, I will be remaking a new one that's bigger and better.
How about we all just take a quick moment of silence for the former The Real Pigskin Instagram account. Everyone take a moment of silence, please. Okay, that's it. Now moving on.
Let's also just take a minute to know if you could show Lane's Lowdown here. If we could just take a moment to acknowledge the new look that not that one. The new look that Myles has going with his headset. He now basically looks like a full-on...
He looks like Tony Romo.
He looks like a full-on sportscaster, right, Myles? Show us, Myles. Give us a quick little overview of your new headset and how it is to wear it.
I don't have a lot to say. It's really nice. The microphone is the most important part, though. It's way better sound quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
We decided before the show that he looked like Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, and Pilot. So that's his new look: Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Pilot.
Right, and if the folks from Sony or any of the big audio companies are listening and you want to send us some new headphones, that would be great because we could all use a set of nice headphones. I think that would be great.
And you could get a sponsorship opportunity from the best of the best Sports Pal with Myles.
Oh, we'll mention you on the air. Yeah, and thousands and thousands and thousands of people will hear it.
Yeah.
Incredible. So, sorry.
If not millions.
Sorry for that little derailment. Back to you guys.
Where were we? Talking about Myles' new headphones. Yeah, might take Tony Romo or Jim Nantz out of a job, or even a pilot, like Myles said. If anyone else has anything to say, maybe we could go over to our executive producers if they want to chime in. I know my dad has said a bunch, but Noah, you haven't really said anything too much yet so far. So if you want to say anything, you can go ahead, or anyone wants to say anything, go ahead.
I don't really have too much to say. I just think that Alvin Kamara had a great game, and he really showed that. And one thing is that I do want to say is that the Saints have been beating them, like Quinn has been saying. They've been beating them to go to the playoffs many times before, and now this year the Saints are really stepping their level up or their game up and to show them that they can actually beat them this year.
I think the most important thing Noah just said was Kamara.
I don't know.
Kamara.
Maybe we'll have a poll on the new Instagram.
I think that might be.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
That might be a good idea, but I don't know. What do you think, Quinn?
I think we're gonna head on to the second half of our show. Quick little commercial break, then we'll be back. So yeah, we'll be back after these words.
Sports Babble with Myles and Quinn.
Creepy case, it's a pillowcase. Creepy case, it's our face. Everywhere you'll ever go, people will say, people will know. That's creepy case, it's their face. Creepy case, the pillowcase. We're the best, we help you rest. Everything is great. We can help you sleep better. Ish. Kind of not. Oh wait, we're hot. Creepy case. We help you sleep, 'cause it's our face. Every day, every way, we help you sleep and we help you play.
Acting up for us to settle on our penny one.
Hey, this is Quinn, reminding you to head over to sportsbabblevt.com for show recaps, sports updates, contests, news, and more. Plus, click that contact us link and send us your thoughts, questions, or ideas. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the show. At Complicated Communications, we are committed now, more than ever, to keeping you connected. But it's complicated.
Complicated communications, please hold. Complicated communications, this is Charlene.
My internet is awful. I can't even watch TikTok videos.
Oh, I am sorry to hear that. I can have an uncertified tech on site in 3 months to take a look-see, hon.
3 months?
That's right. Someone will be there in 3 months, between a Monday and Friday, between 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. So please make sure someone is available to let them in.
Listen, that's ridiculous. I need to film my TikTok videos. Don't you have anything sooner?
I'm sorry, it's complicated.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Sports Babble with Myles and Quinn.
And we are back. So that was a great little commercial break. Like I said before, I'd say we're up there with Super Bowl commercials. Let us know in the comments of this video how you think our commercials are. On a scale of 1 to 10. By the way, if you say anything under a 5, we'll be very disappointed.
I'd say it's at least a 5.5.
At least. Minimum.
Right.
Anyways, so we're going to move on to the second half of our show where we'll get started with Lane's Lowdown.
Ooh, okay. We're ready for that?
Yeah.
Hold on. No, what about our...
Oh, wait.
What about the other one? Okay.
Maybe not yet. Okay, Myles Lane, take it away.
Okay, thank you, Quinn. I'm going to be talking about the playoff bracket today and what we're seeing and what we think is going to happen. So I'm just going to switch over to it. I have it over here. So the AFC and the NFC, number 1 seed for NFC, as you can probably tell, is Packers. They have the first round bye or home field advantage. And AFC is Chiefs. Then number 2 for AFC is Steelers, and number 2 for NFC is Seahawks. And number 3 and 4 for NFC is Seahawks and Washington Football Team. And number 3 and 4 for AFC is Bills and Titans. And wild cards, Dolphins, Colts, and Browns are all kind of going for it. And in the bubble is the Ravens. Wild cards for NFC is Bears, Rams, and Bucks. And in the bubble are Cardinals, Giants, Eagles, and Cowboys.
Giants.
Here we go.
New York Giants. So what exactly, can you guys tell me exactly what the bubble spot is? What's that all about?
That's like in the hunt, so like we're trying to make the playoffs. Like the Giants are in the bubble.
What's kind of funny is the wild card, Bucks 10-5, they're a wild card, and then the leader of like a different division is the Washington Football Team. They're 6-8, and so it's just a weird year when one division is all not so good.
Hey, don't make fun of the NFC East. We're pretty good.
Listen, let me just point out that Quinn, for like the last hour until the show started, didn't say a word. He was like, I think he was. Noah, was he crying?
I think he was. I think there was a couple tears coming out of his eyes.
Yeah, it's been a rough day here in the Lynch
I need
household,
a minute.
So, yeah, so let's everyone just be tender with Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you talked about what we think is going to end up happening in the playoffs. We kind of discussed it a little bit last week, but I guess the playoffs kind of count as the Super Bowl. I think, personally, my Super Bowl prediction is the Chiefs and the Packers. I expect the Packers going really far in the playoffs. Devontae Adams playing very well this year, and Aaron Rodgers also playing really well. Defense needs to step it up in some spots because there's been a lot of high-scoring games for the Packers' opponents, which they need to lower down and make it less of a chance. But I think that's also the case with the Chiefs, who barely squeaked out a win versus the Falcons, which are not a very good team. They ended up winning after Younghoe Koo, one of the best kickers in the league, missed a game-tying kick to go to overtime, which you don't see out of a Pro Bowl kicker too often, but it did happen.
We watched a couple missed field goals yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Last night, the 49ers and Cardinals, the 49ers kicker Robbie Gould, who's, I think this is his 14th year in the league, missing 2 or 3 field goals, I think, but that they still ended up winning the game, but still it would have widened the gap.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Younghoe Koo missing a 37-yarder. That's pretty sad.
At least it's not a
37 yards really didn't seem that difficult.
Right. I think that, have you guys ever tried to kick a field goal? Have any of you? You're all soccer players. Have any of you guys ever tried to kick a field goal?
No. It takes like 40 yards, about 40 yards. It's 120 feet, so that's a little perspective. 120 feet and height.
I think
it's easy, but
I think for a show, because we
don't really have any places to kick it anyway.
What? Well, is there anywhere? There's the
have any goalposts.
There's the polo fields.
Stowe has goalposts?
Yeah, they have polo fields.
I think
they took those down.
Oh, really?
They took those down.
Shoot.
Is there nowhere where you guys can go and challenge yourselves to
They
a Sports Babble field goal kickoff?
I bet there's a place in Burlington.
Yeah.
Just
We could just kick it and see how far it went.
listen. I get that. I get that,
Yeah,
ladies.
we
Lowdown.
could just kick it and see how far it goes.
I get that, but I don't. But if you don't have the goalposts, like, what if it goes in and you don't know it really went in? I don't know.
Anyways, yeah. So my playoff predictions are the Chiefs and the Packers are going to go pretty far. Honestly, the Chiefs could get knocked out after having all these close games versus some not very good teams. That you might see a quick exit from the Chiefs, and you might see one of those other AFC teams start to pick it up, like the Bills. Honestly, I think what we would all like to see is a Bills versus Chiefs AFC title game. I think that would be a very fun game to watch.
Both very powerful offenses.
Yeah.
High scoring game.
Yeah, that could definitely be.
That's what I have to say about the playoffs anyways. Back to you, Myles.
Yeah, so I agree with Quinn a bit, but I would rather the Bills or I want the Chiefs to win just because Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's like one of my favorite running backs, a rookie, really short, but very muscular. And so like a rookie out of LSU coming out being a star running back and winning the Super Bowl, I think that'd be a pretty cool success story. But if he wasn't on their team, then I would want the Bills to win just because change of pace. But for the NFC, honestly, I think that I think the Packers aren't going to make it to the Super Bowl just because their defense isn't that good. The NFC doesn't have amazing defenses. But like Indianapolis Colts, I'd love to see them go to the Super Bowl. Colts versus Bills would be a really cool game.
Yeah, Myles, what you said about the Colts, I'm rooting for the Colts. I want it to be the Colts and the football team in the Super Bowl because the Patriots got that. That sucks. Obviously, I like the Buccaneers because that was my second favorite team, and then they got like Brady and Gronkowski. But I don't know, something happened. I don't love them now that they have so many good players and they're so good, whatever. You know, sometimes you just like to see Jameis Winston play. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so what you said about the Chiefs having an early exit, I would love to see that. I would love to see the Chiefs just lose immediately because I hate
to the
Chiefs.
Washington football team. That'd be wonderful.
I don't know. I loathe
That would be
the
something.
Chiefs. Oh, the Chiefs in the Super Bowl losing to the football team. That would be insane. Imagine the football team winning the first year after they changed their name. They would just silence all the
That would be
haters.
pretty
I don't
cool.
think they'd be able to change their name after that either. I don't think everybody would be like, no, you can't change your name. It's bad luck.
When was the
100%
did the Redskins win a Super Bowl ever?
Whoa. We don't use that name.
Listen, I'm just saying
Okay,
the previous Washington.
The Redskins
Yeah,
have Redskins have won a Super Bowl.
The Redskins won a Super Bowl.
Let's go
Yeah,
a
they're
long
old
way.
school, and so they've won a bunch.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. They won 3
The
or 4.
Bills, though, the
does that
Bills
mean
though
that
have had.
they would have only won 1?
I don't know.
Oh, the Bills. They lost 4 Super Bowls in a row.
I
It's
know,
just
4
rough.
Super Bowls
Make it
in a
Super Bowl
row.
4 years, but you lose all of them.
Yeah, a couple of them were on a field goal, and one of them was against the Giants on a field goal. That's just rough.
What can I say? The Giants are the best team in the NFL.
Like 30 years ago,
Sure.
yeah.
So what?
Not really.
That happened.
Giants. I like to heckle Quinn with fun facts about the Giants being awful. In 2009, the Giants started out 5-0 and completely missed the playoffs.
In 2009.
Oh, that's
2009. You guys were like 1 then. Well, maybe older
I was
than
like
that.
2.
In
All right, fine, you were
2009,
2.
the Patriots won the
I was
Super Bowl.
2.
So
In 2007,
didn't.
the Giants beat the Patriots
That's
in the
not
Super
true.
Bowl.
Thank you, Quinn. Quinn, listen, you
So-
can say
That
that
is
again. I'm
low,
going to turn everyone
Quinn.
else's volume down
That
so
is
you can
That's
make,
low.
you can make the
We're
last
not-
statement.
Quinn, we are not going undisputed as of right now.
All right.
That is low.
I
All right,
think
anyway,
that
back to the topic. So yeah, the Chiefs, an early exit would be amazing. The football team going deep into the playoffs would be amazing. So are the Colts. Yeah, I do think it'll eventually come down to the Bills and the Chiefs and the Rams or the Seahawks and the Packers. I don't think the Packers are going to make it to the playoffs. I'm going to be a hater and say they're not going to. And they have a terrible defense. Aaron Jones
Myles,
this year has been
Myles.
very inconsistent.
Myles.
Yo.
The Packers are making it to the playoffs.
They clinched
Just so you
it.
know.
I think we've just had a statement
I
made
think
here
this
on
is
Sports Babble. A statement has just been made by
How
Lindsay
can the
Lowdown.
Packers not make it to the playoffs? They're like 11-3.
Yeah, I'm at the Super Bowl. But anyway,
Yeah.
they have a terrible
I knew
defense.
that.
Aaron Jones this year and really throughout his career has been very inconsistent. Devontae Adams started the year horrible, but he very much has come into his own. But with one small injury, I believe he will go back to being very much worthless as he was at the start of the season. For first 5 or 6 games, he was not good at all. I definitely don't think that this is a team that is the Packers just aren't set up to make it to the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers is a very good quarterback, and I do think he has a pretty good chance of winning the MVP. And by pretty good, I mean he's probably going to come in second or third at Pat. So that's always tough for them. But they don't. Robert Tonyan, of course, he's fantastic. He was a Pro Bowl snub, and that was very bad. But they have one good tight end. They have an inconsistent running back. They have virtually no defense. They have one good defensive lineman, and then their defensive line will just get run all over. No Blake Martinez, so their linebacking core is very lacking. Wide receivers, they have one wide receiver and 2 pretty good or decent wide receivers, but if Devontae Adams gets slightly injured, I do feel like he will be scaled back very much by the Packers because that's just what happens to him when he's not fully healthy. So I feel like, with one injury in their wide receiving core, or Aaron Jones is inconsistent for one game, which he will be if they make it to the playoffs and they go deep, I just feel like they don't have enough to win. Seahawks, no defense. Otherwise, they're pretty good. They don't have great tight ends. Hollister, Olsen, those are both decent tight ends and not helping them. Wilson was hot in the beginning, and now he's very much cooled down, and he's not great. Carson, hot in the beginning, he's cooled down, and that's not great for them. Metcalf, hot in the beginning, he's cooled down. Not a lot. He's cooled down a little bit, and that may be Wilson's fault. So I don't think they'll make it there. The Rams, Cam Akers ran all over the Patriots. He's decently inconsistent, though, and that's worrisome. Jared Goff has held that team back a little bit with turnovers, but still, I feel like he's a good quarterback. They have a good defense. They just have a good defense. Ramsey and Donald crush opponents, and that is hard. I mean, you can't run on them. It's very hard to do. And passing-wise, Ramsey's going to be covering the best guy, and that's going to hurt you. I mean, last time the Seahawks played them, Ramsey locked down Metcalf. So I think that they have a chance to go far, and Akers plays good in the playoffs, and if Goff plays even decent, if Goff doesn't give up a bunch of turnovers in the playoffs, then they have a possibility to go to the playoffs, because they are a loaded team. Of course, the Bills, their defense has not been playing great, and I don't get it, because I always thought they were a great defense, especially last year. I think they probably will lose the Chiefs on the brink of the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are just good all around. Maybe if they got a better offensive line, that'd probably be better if Patrick Mahomes knew how to run. Other than that, there's nothing wrong with them. So yeah, Chiefs, Rams, I'm sticking with it, even though the Rams lost to the Jets. That was just unfortunate. Also, I think Akers was either out or inconsistent.
That was the one win. That was the one win of the Jets, and that happened to be on your Super Bowl prediction. Come on, Myles. But the Jets, the poor Jets. I mean, it's been a rough year for my dad. He's a Jets fan, and it's just, no, they've won one game. They almost won another game against the Raiders, but somehow lost. they were looking really good against the team they were playing today, but they lost.
Yeah, they look great today for like 3 or 4 plays. I thought.
No, it was like 10-3 or something like that, and then they just blew it. But the Jets, I mean, they're in the rebuilding stage. They have been for a little while, but I don't know who's gonna get the first draft pick, the Jaguars or the Jets. Who knows?
I'm pretty sure the exact year they've been rebuilding for has been, let's see,
Since Super Bowl III.
almost 52 years.
But, I hope the Jets get the first round draft pick over the Jaguars, though. All they have to do is throw one more game, they'll be fine.
What does throw mean?
I'm pretty sure they can choke if they really want to. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can choke if they want to. I mean, how can a team not be able to lose? Like, it's pretty easy, but... So, I hope the Jets in 10 years...
The football team is just too good. The Patriots lose all the time.
Yeah.
The Patriots, never lose. When was the last time the Patriots lost? Last week. The Patriots haven't thrown a touchdown for 2 weeks.
Okay, I think
Patriots
guys,
haven't scored a touchdown for about 3
I
months.
hate Cam Newton.
alright guys, we should probably wrap up the Lane's
Yeah,
Lowdown
because we have
section.
that was a
Cam
long
Newton on the
segment.
line actually right now. Hold on, let's go to the phones. It's Cam.
And he's been listening to you guys say you hate him. Oh wait, Cam Newton, what do you have to say? Oh, I'm kidding. Myles, if you want to wrap up this segment, then I'll send it back to you.
Thanks for listening to Lane's Lowdown. That was our section for today. Back to Quinn.
Okay. Now back to Noah for local sports, listener questions, trivia, and the end of the show. So, Noah, take it away.
Local news and sports with Noah.
Yep, we're here with me, myself, and I. So, winter sports, let me just pull up the slide real quick. Winter sports update. Governor Scott recently passed press conference. Winter sports can begin now. Non-contact, socially distanced practices. All athletes must be registered online before they can go to practice. View a slideshow for more info. But anyways, so that means basketball is now on, but not on really. You can go and practice. You can do some.
Sounds like just maybe skills and
Yeah,
drills,
dribbling and
maybe?
stuff like that. Nothing really too serious. Coming. It says right here for People's Academy that it's going to be starting January 4th and 7th on Monday and Thursday for basketball. So that's a great thing to.
Let's just cut to Quinn real quick because I think he has a really good form shot he wants to show us.
Oh yeah, alright, ready for this?
Oh, let's see it. That was. I think that one probably almost went in. I'm
Almost.
pretty sure. Yeah.
Almost went in the other hoop somehow.
That was a great shot.
Yeah. So that's a good thing to hear for local news and sports with Noah, and that's all I have.
Local news and sports with Noah.
Yeah, great to hear that they're finally, after postponing it a lot, they're finally starting basketball up. And Noah, so you ping-ponged it to me, and I hit it back for listener questions and trivia.
If I had a ping pong sound right now, I'd be playing it, but I don't have a ping pong sound. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry about that.
No ping pong.
Note to self.
Note to self, no ping pong sound. Or no, need ping pong sound.
Need ping pong.
Alright, ready, Noah?
Ping pong
Ready for
is
this?
needed. Okay.
Hold on 1 second. I just need to. I'd actually prefer to have a little bit of a
Ping pong.
little trivia music.
Trivia. So
no.
trivia, but listen.
Or listener questions first.
Oh, sorry, I meant listener questions music.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, go ahead.
let's see. First question. Do you think they were a little rough on Kamara? You know, having Kamara. You know, having his green and red cleats. Do you think? I know it might be policy, but do you think maybe instead of fining him, they could have, or I don't know. That's kind of my question. Do you think they were a little rough on Kamara with his shoes and style?
I mean, it's Christmas, man. It's
Yeah.
Christmas.
I personally think they were a little rough on Kamara. I know NFL has some policies due to uniforms that they like to keep in line, so you know, it's tough for them to a lot of times it's like if they let that one slide, then other players are gonna start doing it, and they feel like they have to let them slide, and then they have to change the rules. So I think it's kind of like they have their policies and they have to try and stick to their policies as best they can. But if on Christmas Day, a red cleat and a green cleat, those Christmas colors, I feel like $6,000 for a pair of cleats is kind of absurd.
But it's the way to show them.
How much does he make?
$6,000 fine.
Exactly.
How much does he make? Any idea?
A lot, but it's still kind of ridiculous.
He makes a lot. You heard that today on Sports Babble with Myles and Quinn.
$1,000 for every touchdown.
Anyways,
They find him.
it's kind of ridiculous in my opinion that they find him for wearing his own kind of cleats. Players do that a lot. They have like their own type of cleats, but I guess they have to be like a certain kind of I don't know.
They have their policy.
Do you think somebody tapped him on the shoulder and was like, psst, hey, you should take those cleats off? Yeah. Or
maybe Drew Brees was like, hey, come here. Get over in the locker room real quick. Gotta switch things out.
Right. Who knows? Now, do you guys care? No. Do you care if it's like, if he looks like a Christmas tree or if he looks like he's on the Saints?
No.
I mean, at least he was wearing the jersey.
Oh, well, actually, I do have a lot to say about this.
Oh, all right. Here we go.
I have a lot to say about this topic, boys. So I sort of could see both sides of this because I understand that the NFL has rules and, loopholes can be exploited out of those if rules are, cut or whatever. Like if you're wearing two different brands of cleats and one of them gives you extra traction, one of them gives you extra speed, I can understand how that would be unfair. So loopholes can be exploited if you cut rules. So I get the NFL's point, but these are the same brand of cleats. They were the same. They weren't two different kinds of the same brand of cleats. They were one pair of cleats. So and I mean, if he just wants to be Christmas Eve, I don't really care. I can understand. I can see both sides, and I can understand what both players are thinking. $6,000 seems a bit harsh, but I do understand that if you're getting fined $3,000, then that's probably not even really going to show up for an NFL player, and it's not going to make any headlines or anything like that. So players will just be like, yeah, well, I'm making a lot more than that playing in this game, so I might as well just do whatever I want. So I don't really know. I can understand if Kamara wears those cleats every game for his Kamara mojo, his Kamojo. Quinn likes that, I can tell. He thinks it's hilarious. Look at that smile. Look at that laugh. Yeah, that's his new nickname. Everybody on the Saints who's watching this, and I know you are, call him Kamojo.
And go on.
I can see the headline now.
Go ahead.
Kamara's teammates call him Kamojo for some unknown reason.
That's what this video should be titled, Kamojo or Bust.
Maybe.
Oh, speaking of which, I've done some polls on our current Instagram. Check them out.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Kamara. Kamojo. So he's decided to take the spotlight that he's getting from this little red and green cleat thing, and he's going to start some kind of charity where he donates money to kids, or to footwear or money or something to kids that need it. Because I was going to say, what do you think they do with that money? What do you think happens at $6,000? The NFL's like, thank you very much. We make $8 gazillion a day.
That's good.
Take your $6,000.
That's a good thing to see. When they're wearing their own personal cleats and their own charities that they've made up, and helping the less fortunate. And it's a good thing to see that these football players that are great at the game and getting paid so much to play the game, they're at least doing something good with that money and putting it to good things for the world around us, especially in these times.
And with all the injuries that I've seen, they might as well be wearing bowling shoes. I don't know that it would make a difference, because I've seen so many guys fall down. Like, I don't really know what these manufacturers are thinking.
Yeah.
We need a super cleat out there. Hey, Nike, Reebok, we need a super cleat.
Is it time for the
My
next
cause,
listener
my
question?
cleats week, it'll be voice crack. For my cause, my cleats, it'll be the donating to helping fight people without shoes, the Mojo Foundation.
Nice. I like that. You're onto
Noah,
something.
Gotta start
is
it.
it time
Come
for
on,
the next
get the
listener
word out.
question?
All right, Quinn's getting comfortable with the red and green cleat thing. He's ready to move on.
Yeah, let's get the second question up. So what changes should the Vikings make to the team if they want to keep up the so-called reputation of winning to the Saints in the playoffs in the past years? If they want to keep it up.
Get a better running defense. That's all that killed them was Kamara. Either injure Kamara or get a better running defense. I mean Mojo, sorry.
Mojo, yeah.
Mojo.
Yeah, I agree with Myles.
Yeah, come on, man.
I think the Vikings need to work on their defensive line and middle linebacking, or just linebacking core in general. They obviously kind of replaced Stephon Diggs with Justin Jefferson, who has been a great rookie talent this year. And they have Adam Thielen, who obviously is another great wide receiver. Kirk Cousins, I wouldn't say he's the best quarterback in the world, but he's not terrible either.
How dare you?
I know that offends Myles because he thinks Kirk Cousins is very underrated. Anyways, he's not, obviously, I wouldn't say he's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL at all, but he's still not bad. He's good for that team. He's been with that team for like 4 or 5 years, I believe, and he's been good for that team doing what he needs to do. But they kind of just need to work on their defense. They don't have too many great quarterbacks. They don't have great linebackers or defensive linemen. So they kind of need to work on that area of their team.
Yeah, I think that was a good way to answer that question. So why don't we just move on right into the trivia, hitting this.
Trivia or trivia?
Well,
Hold on 1 second. Try that again.
Trivia. Let's just move on right to trivia. Now hitting this 15-minute mark. Okay, so let me just pull that up real quick. Let me get my thing too. So yeah, we got a new little setup. I don't know if you guys can see it, but we have like a little live on air thing right here.
Kind of like, that's okay.
Yeah, whatever.
It's kind of bright. It's not really.
Yeah.
You can't really see it that good. The point is that it's there.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Quinn, tell everyone that it's there.
I see it. I see it. Okay, I see it.
So trivia for what we've been doing, the kind of same thing that we've been doing for trivia, or I've been doing for trivia, is who won the game and what was the score. So today we're gonna go over the Bucks and Lions game, and what was the score? Lions versus Buccaneers.
I think I know.
Do not touch Google right now.
Nope.
I see your camera's going off. I'm kidding. Anyway.
Boom, guys. I got it, guys.
That was way too much Google
I
time.
watched this game. Guys, watched this game, and my dad and I were talking about this game, and I did a play on this game where Rob Gronkowski gets 7 touchdowns and Kamara doesn't get any. So I know the score.
Wait, hold on. We changed our mind. It was a different game we wanted to do. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I don't know any other games. I don't know any other games.
All right, what was it? What was the score?
I did a play of them. 47-7, Buccaneers beating the Lions. I know because Blaine Gabbert got called in for Tom Brady, and Gronk got 2 touchdowns instead of 7. So not great there, but still, boys, I know the score.
I'd also known the answer to that, being 47-7. I remember watching seeing something on Instagram that was showing the whatever that week was, like the recap of all the scores. So yeah,
Wait a minute.
47.
I didn't post anything about that on our Instagram.
It wasn't on your Instagram. It was on like NFL's Instagram.
There's
others.
Myles, do you want to answer this question?
It sounds like it's 47-7. I mean...
Okay. But be true to your heart. Be true to your heart. Come on. Be true to your heart. What do you really think it is?
Uh-oh. This does not sound good for me, but I still know I think I got it right.
I'm pretty sure it's 47-7.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. So.
Absolutely excellent.
Yep. So that was actually excellent. For you guys, not for me. You guys all got it right. I need to like go into your brain.
To trick us.
I need to try to go into your brains and make sure you guys don't watch those games that I pick. Yeah. So you guys got it right. So that's another helmet slap for me, or 3 helmet slaps for me.
We gotta keep that on record for once we get Myles Markku back in here with his helmet. We gotta keep track of how many times we slapped him on the head, because at the end, he might be on the floor. Anyways, that's wrapped up for today's episode of Sports Babble with Myles and Quinn. We'll see you next time, probably next week. So, yeah, bye.
Instagram is being
Merry
deleted,
Christmas.
so follow my new one.
Follow the new Instagram. We'll plug it next week. We'll plug it on the website. Goodbye.
Do the poll I posted right now. It's good. Both of them. Alright, subscribe.